Dr. J back with you, running through the alternative milestones from yesterday and today. It was 30 years ago today that the Pretenders released their fifth album called Pact, and we heard the song Never Do That. And that was essentially a solo album for Chrissie Hynde. Every other band member except for the drummer had left at that point, and so it was filled out with session musicians and called a Pretenders album. And we had two songs commemorating 65th birthdays today. Iva Davies, who is the guitar and vocals for the band Icehouse. We heard the song No Promises. And Jerry Dammers, who was the co-founder and keyboardist for the band The Specials. And he was also their lead songwriter. And we heard one of his biggest called Too Much, Too Young. The next batch of four songs were all 10-year milestones from yesterday. Jane Wiedlin of Go-Go's was hiking outside San Francisco, and she fell down a 20-foot cliff and mangled her knees up so bad that the Go-Go's had to call off one of their reunion tours because of it. We heard the song Unforgiven, and that was from their last studio album. And as I told you last week, they are reforming again, or at least supposed to be, for a tour a little bit later this year, because there's a documentary about them going to be on Showtime in August. Tame Impala before that, from their debut album, Inner Speaker. It was 10 years yesterday, and we heard the song Solitude is Bliss. I'm not sure how many of us are feeling that solitude is bliss right now, but it kind of fits. I'm sure some people are. Stone Temple Pilots before that, their self-titled sixth album, 10 years ago yesterday, and we heard the song Between the Lines. And Pendulum's third album, called Immersion, was also 10 years ago yesterday, and we heard the song Watercolor from that. And we started the set off with The Clash, and that was a live version of the song Clampdown. That one was recorded February 18th of 1980, but it was in May of 1980, 40 years ago yesterday, that Joe Strummer was arrested after a concert in Hamburg, Germany. That show was plagued by crowd violence, and there was somebody up front who was pounding on the guy in front of him, and Joe Strummer kind of smacked the guy in the head with his guitar. So they arrested him, but they tested him, and he was alcohol-free, and they said, okay, you can go. Nice. And now, we have a huge list of milestones for tomorrow, and it is so big that I'm actually going to break that into two sets, and we're going to start the first off here with Roxy Music on the only YouTube channel that matters.